Hello and welcome back to The Good Talk, the show where we discuss what's hot, what's grot, and everything between in the wide world of Warhammer. My name is Adrian, and I'm joined today by Doc Mel.
Hi!
And we are here to discuss the brand new Black Templars and the Grey Knights books. Now, if you're watching us live, we were going to be playing a game at this time. However, the Bay Area is the Bay Area, and they decided to close one of the major freeways. So Shane is currently stuck in traffic, moving like 2 miles an hour, and he will not be texting and driving during this show. And so in the meantime, we're just swap them. So we're going to talk about the books now. We'll play the game afterwards. It's going to be great. What this does mean is, Shane is the one that has studied the Templars book. I have obviously read it. We've actually already played a game with it that will be coming out later next week. But it might be a little bit more of a first impression, certainly a first impression for you.
Which is great because I have been considering both Black Templars and Grey Knights.
That's true, actually.
So this seems perfect.
Honestly, so totally perfect. Just for context, if you're not aware, Mel does play Space Marines, Space Wolves, but this is going to be genuinely a first reaction from Mel. So yeah, I'm super excited. We're going to give everyone just a few minutes to kind of pile on in, especially given all the switch ups. We'll get really diving in just a second, but I want to thank everyone for joining us live.
We have a bunch of new members to thank.
We absolutely do. So thank you everyone for joining us. We've got, get ready, Joshua Menden, Aaron Gallagher, Adapow, Keith, Kyle R, Potomahawk, something like that, close. Mir, Henrik, Lovequist, Matthew Ferguson, and Tom Foolery. Welcome all of you to Captainhood. We really appreciate that. Look, there's dare I say, more members content than ever. We, of course, have our Tuesday games that you could vote on how we play. We, of course, have our Thursday talk shows. We have our Friday Trench Crusade post-game episodes. Plus, we have behind-the-scene episodes and much, much more coming. And you get access to that 4.5 years now of members-only content. It's a great time.
Do you ever feel like living nostalgia and living ninth ed? We got content for you.
Yeah, exactly. And lots of things that are just about kind of the process of what we do here. So if you're interested in content creation or any of that, it's a great thing to check out. And I want to thank everyone for joining us live. Yeah, what's the opposite of a Shane alert? True.
He's like, yes, Mel, forget the mutant wolves. Join the crusade.
The crusade, yes. So actually, I should go ahead and thank Games Workshop for sending this to us in advance, of course. Funny fun fact though, you'll find actually when we release our pre-recorded, we got this book literally while we were recording that episode. So that'll be a lot of fun, and really excited to be playing our first live game on a Saturday in quite a while. So
yeah.
it's gonna be a great time.
Did you miss us?
Yeah, we missed you guys.
Let us know if you miss us. I missed you all. I haven't been producing very much because there's no Saturdays.
It's been absolutely wild. So yeah, let's just dive on in. I think we'll start with the Templars first. More familiar with this book for sure. So again, we'll talk about the detachments, special rules, changes. We're not going to do a page by page flip through. However, one of the reasons we do this live is if you have a specific question about a change or how something works, or if you notice that we missed something, let us know. This is meant to be a discussion, not a lecture. So feel free to dive on in. We do have a camera. Nope, that's the chat. We'll get the camera pulled up in a second, and we can also pull up specific pages, things like that. So that is that.
Hi, Aeneas.
What
nice
is
to see you live as well.
Aw, yeah, I do. We do miss live Saturdays. That's the one sad trade-off between doing all this extra stuff. So cool. Well, let's get into it. So the Templars book, right off the bat, has a very bold change. Okay. What the heck?
Your phone is going to make a bold change.
Yeah, Siri is like a Black Templar, apparently. So the rule that Space Marines have, all Space Marines have, except for Grey Knights because they're not real, is, of course, Oath of Moment. Black Templars just lost Oath of Moment.
No!
Yeah.
No!
Yeah, it's kind of shocking.
No!
Actually. Yeah. It's weird, so I just want to get that one over with right off the bat. In exchange for losing Oath of Moment, they gain their oaths. Now, if you played the Index, they had both before, so that is, as a gut reaction, kind of sucks. I'm not going to cut that to
But also, that's a uniting Space Marine. That's what makes me feel like a Space Marine player,
basically.
is that I have oath.
Well, that's what's so funny is because, we've seen Blood Angels, we've seen Dark Angels, we've seen Space Wolves now. All of those had Oath of Moment kept in, and randomly they're like, yeah, you don't get Oath here. Very strange. Now, I will say, there are many mechanics that will get you an Oath-like mechanic back. So Sorry, Aeneas. There's many mechanics that will give you like rerolls in particular in combat back. And what this means is the army moves from doing the Space Marine thing, which is pick a thing and kill it real good, to being more of a, you can kind of spread out, you can potentially play more MSU, where if you're giving hit rerolls here, 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 and here, you can get them against different targets, whereas with Oath, it always has to be against that one thing you're just trying to kill dead. So it's interesting, honestly, and the vows are also pretty interesting. All of them having Oath was lazy. Yeah, honestly, I'm on board for it. I'm just shocked that they didn't do it sooner.
It's weird that like Space Wolves kept it and
Right.
then they lose it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Space Wolves, like the other ones, wow, Dark Angels, Black, Blood Angels, stuff like that. Okay, I get it. But like, if you were going to make this change, I probably would have made it for Space Wolves, right? So that's a bit odd. Anyways, I was just trying to get to this screen with our beautiful playmat you can buy from Orchid 8. And I want to talk about the Oaths and what they look like these days. To me, there's one clear best one. Yeah, no, that's not gonna be easy. So there are 4 of them. You have Abhor the Witch, Destroy the Witch, obviously.
Love it.
This one is when you declare a charge. If you are charging against something that has the Psychic keyword, then you can re-roll the charge. Okay. Melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have the Precision ability while targeting Psychic units. Very, very niche. And for context, you still pick this at the start of the game. So obviously if your opponent has no Psychers, you don't pick it. Often I think you won't be picking it, probably in exchange for this next one. Accept any challenge, no matter the odds.
Wait, to clarify, do they get all of these for their...
No, there's 4 and you pick one at the start of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it gives you a little customization, which is cute. Accept any challenge, no matter the odds, is essentially reverse transhuman. So if you are targeting something in melee, whose toughness is higher than your strength, you get +1 to wound. So it helps you wound those big, tough things, which is good.
+1 to wound is like my favorite strat right now under my detachment.
It's kind of mandatory, right? Because you're actually in a similar range where you have a lot of strength 5, strength 6. When you're going up against big targets, you need that +1 to wound. And this is just baked in. So I really like this one. It's fantastic. There's no restrictions. Suffer not the unclean to live. This allows the unit to fall back and still charge. And whenever they make a pile in a consolidation, you don't have to end closer to the closest model, just to the closest unit. So this lets you kind of pile in and get some movement shenanigans. This one also genuinely interesting. If you're going up against like an army that is going to just bog you down with lots of bodies, kind of tag you up, get in your way, then it's pretty spicy for that, honestly. So, you know, big things, you get the +1 to wound. Hordes, you do this one, so you barely fall back in charge. And the last one is Uphold the Honor of the Emperor. Pretty classic. This is your infantry units gain sticky objective holding. And for the first time, we're seeing an ability that interacts with actions. Did not think they would do this because they introduced these halfway through the edition.
No.
I know, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. No. And I think both of these books actually do it. So this also says if the mission you're playing features actions, your infantry units can do an action after they've advanced. So it gives you extra mission play flexibility. This one is the most general purpose. I think the +1 to wound for me is just so solid that in many matchups you're going to take it. But again, Black Templars players, let me know which of these oaths you feel like you're going to be taking the most.
Remember, this is the less complicated edition.
This is less complicated, yeah. Pick one of these 4 complicated abilities, whatever, stuff like that, you know? So yeah, Chaolok, that is their army rule, is just those Templar vows. And then you still have the same restrictions as before. It says there's certain units that you can't take from the Space Marine book. These are all the units that have a version of them in this book, right? So I think it's essentially the same list as before. My biggest complaint about it is their Stern Guard are like just worse. Because in Space Marine proper, your Stern Guard are reroll wounds of 1 and full wound rerolls against the Oath target. There's no Oath target. Yeah, so they rewrote it. They gave him like the flamethrower gun for like 2 guys and just took away that second part. So unless I'm misreading it, I feel like they're just worse. But generally speaking, the upside on all the vehicles is still you get that multi-melta, which is cool. So that's nice. What's up, Kieran? Thanks for joining us. Oh, that's a good point, Adam. Thank you. It is equal to or greater toughness, toughness versus strength. So your +1 to wound against even things that are the same as you.
Oh, okay.
So again, it just feels very, very strong and like multi-purpose. Yeah, exactly. Necromancer likes the changes. Feel like they're really not just Space Marine Plus anymore. You could see more of a split completely. I absolutely agree. Kieran, we'll just cut to that chase. Yes, Kieran. Drago is gone. There's no Drago. I know. I'm shocked, as are many people.
Why?
Yeah. Why? Well, he was a resin model, and one can only assume it is one of two things. One, the resin.
They're gonna make it.
Well, that's the second option. One is just that the resin mold is too old and you got to get rid of it. And the two is that there's a plastic one that's coming, right? Of course, 3 could just be they just got rid of them, but I don't know.
That feels wrong.
Yeah. So clearly it's not happening yet, but I feel like we'll get him back, right?
Yeah. The Sarlacc pit. That just means he'll pop out of the warp at the end of the edition.
Honestly, yeah, he's a great character to just like pop out and have like a narrative kind of introduction to him. So that's the army rules generally speaking. Again, annoying to lose Oath, but these are cool and interesting. I think the +1 to wound is very, very spicy. Yeah. Yeah, not ready to make him Primaris scale yet. Yeah, honestly, our good friend Jesse, the big Grey Knights player, and he's been really on that hopium about getting Primaris scaled Grey Knights, and we'll talk more about that when we get into the Grey Knights book, but I definitely have opinions. So keeping it moving, we have quite a few detachments here, actually.
How many did they get?
I think it's like 4 or 5. Oh no, that was Grey Knights. Grey Knights got a lot. So you only get 3 in Templars. Grey Knights got 5. Having said that, though...
What's the lowest now?
The lowest? Well, so keep in mind, though, the Grey Knights, this is all they get, whereas these are in addition to
they
the
get
codex.
those. Okay.
Yeah. So really, it's 3 plus, like 5 or something.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's why. I think it's more. I think Grey Knight's got more than 1,000 Suns, which is, not fair, but anyways. So briefly, here's the first detachment. This is kind of your Index Plus detachment. This is your kind of utility. It's going to give you reroll advances in charge, which is kind of a decent but not exciting rule. They have some great enhancements, the ability to give +1 AP in melee. They have, here's another one, +1 to advance rolls, and you can do actions after you've advanced. Still there. We have one for rerolling hit rolls in melee, chaplain or justiciar. There's a lot of support for justiciars in this book, which I really like. Feels very flavorful, and you're not just kind of stuck like trying to put a chaplain in every detachment. So that's cool. And the last one, of course, gives scout to a unit, which is pretty sweet. This is the detachment that we're going to be playing today. Shane likes it a lot. So yeah. Yes, there's also the Grotmist detachment.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 4 Templar detachments. Frankly, Shane really liked the Grotmist one, but we wanted to play the new ones today. So stratagem-wise, pretty interesting, actually. So you have long pile-in and consolidation, so you get to a 6 instead of a 3.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, especially if you take the VAD that lets you not have to pile towards the closest unit, but closest model, but unit, because then you can really do shenanigans and pile in. So that's cool. That is what Devout Push has become. Now, you're probably not familiar with Devout Push. Before, is a long and storied pass, which I won't get into. Different versions of being able to get into combat and advance and just like pump in. Before the index, it was after you shoot a unit, they can make a reactive move, essentially. Now it's changed to this. Whether it's better or worse, I don't know. Templar players, let me know. I will say Devout Push has always been a very gamey mechanic, and the last one was very, very strange because you could catch people off guard if you didn't let your opponent know.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. So true.
That's good.
Let's see. Oh, speaking of that ability, the next strat lets you give it to it. Give that ability to a unit. So
I was like, it is not named give it to it.
Give it to a unit. It gives you the and closer to enemy model. Yeah, it's basically a version of that. So very pricey if you're combining them. You can do precision in melee for a CP, always handy. You can get rerolls a hit on 1, hits of wound and hit of 1 and wound of 1 reroll. It's cute. It's a nice little utility. Heresy Begets Retribution is a really cool strat for 1 CP. It is a reactive move.
Oh, love that.
That can put you in combat. So it's Blood Surge tied with reactive move. This one is very scary, and I'm nervous about it today. Especially because this works on chaplain or justiciar units. So you have a justiciar in a squad, you fight first, someone moves close, you pile in, and then now you fight first. That one's very spicy.
I like that.
Right? It's just a flat D6, so there's no +2 or anything. But, you know.
You don't get the automatic 6 like I do.
No, that would be too much. And then finally, Dread Crusaders is after your opponent charged, you can force them to take a battle shock check at -1. It's very spiky. If it works, it's great. If it much of the time it won't work, and you're just spend a CP.
Every detachment needs a rule that you'll never need to look at.
Yeah, exactly. So that one's hopium.
That's the one I put my sticky note over.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you're yeah, you cannot combine the 2 pile-in stratagems. That's true, actually. They have. Actually, where does it say that? Pile-in. No, this one doesn't have that restriction. This one does not have that, so you're good.
A great question from Eunaeus. How much room for disappointment does Helbrecht leave for Brian?
Okay, so Helbrecht is maybe worse.
I feel like that's Brian's fault.
And he's currently the same points.
I think that's Brian's fault.
I know.
He manifested it into the world.
The thing is, I'm so sold on Helbrecht, and I thought, yeah, I don't know. I recently played Helbrecht at the team event.
Ruckus disagrees. Says,
He's
nah,
better?
He's better.
Mm.
We'll have to hear this.
All right, we'll talk.
Come join us on the game. Oh, T also agrees, so you might just be wrong.
The big thing is, his 5-up, his crits on 5s is now moved to a generic marshal. So he has a different role, in my opinion, than before. But when you look at him and you lose that ability, that's the thing. Yeah. Anyways, so that's the index detachment. It's not personally my favorite, but I think it's just like good all-arounder. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we've got the Vindication Task Force. This one is kind of weird. It's all about ancients. It's all about banners, things like that. I will say Shane was slightly prescient, where he said it would be cool if banners had an extra ability like Fight on Death or something, which the new one for the Templars actually does. So the way this works is your detachment rules purge and sanctify whenever.
Just, do they get Armor of Contempt?
No, they lost Armor of Contempt.
Welcome.
Well, they don't have it in any of the detachments.
Welcome.
I know. That does actually connect with that. But Blood Angels have it. And I think Dark Angels do too. Let me know, chat. Yeah. Anyways. +1 attack to every guy is so much better. Well, that is not true. It's better in some situations, but getting sustained and sustained on 5s versus 6s is literally an extra attack. Plus, you can spike higher. So I definitely don't think that's true. But he's better in certain situations, right? The question is, are they best in Gladius? It's hard to get away from Gladius, honestly.
You just have to be a loyalist.
You gotta be a loyalist, yeah, so true.
Shane keeps looking at me like, you're gonna run him as Stormlance. No, I'm not gonna run it.
I think there's a reason to run different for things, honestly. But yeah, honestly.
Be a loyalist.
Be a loyalist. So Vindication Task Force, all about Ancients. This gives you a pseudo-transhuman, so if they're targeting an Ancient squad, if their strength is higher than your toughness, -1 to wound. And then for your Crusader squads, what is this one? Whenever they make Righteous Zeal move, they can end move as close as possible to the closest objective. Right, so they have a Blood Surge, and you can move towards objectives instead of models, which is cute.
Ooh, they are going to be a little tricksy, aren't they?
It's very tricksy, especially because you can take those in big squads. They're hard to remove. So very tricksy detachment. I don't love having to take Ancients, but there's some really great strats, I'll be honest. So briefly, we have access to -2 to charge. We have access to a 5-up invuln on a squad, which is very spicy, especially for Sword Brethren. You can give a unit Deep Strike, which is always good. And then you can add 1 to your Vengeful Exploitation roll, whatever that means. Anyways, what are you laughing at?
Moss Morium says, is a headbutt more precise if he has a lot of buddies cheering him on?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's all about the buds cheering on, for sure. +1 attack is better with your weapons that are the power weapons. With your better that. Not the chain swords. Yeah, there's definitely some nuance, and we'll talk a bit about that as well. So, because Sword Brethren are another squad that is different now. I'll say that. Strat-wise, we've got get an Ancient back up after they died. Sounds cute, but it's an Ancient, usually without their squad, so I don't know if I'm so crazy about this. You have +1 AP in melee. Genuinely love that. That's for a CP. You have shooting or fighting. You give ignore cover. Obviously, it doesn't work in melee. And then ignore BS and weapon skill modifiers, which is cute. You have access to +1 to hit, which is cute. -1 to hit, which is cute. And then you have end of your opponent's charge phase. I think this is the counter charge. Yeah.
No, they AOS'd it?
It's the, hey, you have this in 1 year Space Wolves detachment. It's not the one that you play. 2 CP countercharge if you're within 6. Very strong, especially because Templars do enjoy a good Judiciary too. So expensive. That's the only 2 CP strat one, but very good. So I'm torn on this detachment because I don't love having to take Ancients. On the other hand, I really like the suite of abilities that you gain access to, you know? Pretty sweet. Do we think the Emperor's Champion is the biggest glow up in the Codex? Oh.
We'll have to look.
We'll have to find out. Next up, we're going to look at the third and final attachment for the book, which is the Godhammer Assault Force. I feel bad we just have one camera today, but, you know, needs must. Godhammer Assault Force, this is your vehicle detachment, which is low random. However, this vehicle detachment specifically
are you
transports...
getting feedback from your mic?
Let me know, chat. We're getting feedback
could be
here.
mine.
Mic check, mic check. Seems fine here.
This is Mel checking her mic.
Ba 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 ba. All right, cool.
Do you believe in a thing called love?
Sounds like we're good. So vehicle detachment is really a transport detachment, and by transport detachment I mean Land Raider detachment.
Yeah.
So we love it. We love it. What this does is, if you charge after coming out of a transport, force a battle shock test on the enemy. Pretty sweet. And then also you get +1 to hit, which is awesome. So real benefits for getting out of transports. Yes, there's a way to get back in a transport, which is important. Yeah, let me know. Let me know if that's fixed or not. Enhancementes, +2 strength. If you got out of a transport, +1 damage. Really, really great.
Oh, thanks so much, Vought. Gifting 1 membership. Amazing. Starting our memberships off today.
Big thank you, Vought. Thank you, thank you. How many Land Raiders are you talking? Are you taking 3? So the list we played with was 2 and 1 Impulsor. You could go to 3.
Eunice, is it actually illegal?
You cannot trigger the RATM on the Darkness Within 40. Oh, yeah.
Willow, thanks so much joining the Mono Membership Club and hanging out with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Mono Membership Club, let's go. So probably 2 Land Raiders. The problem with all transport detachments, like the Drakari one, is once you lose your transports, you lose your army rule. So that's always the scary thing. However, I think this is a very fun detachment. The reason it's the first one we played during the pre-record. So you got +1 damage. You have a -1 to the battle shock check when you run out, which is cool. You have ignore cover to unit within 12. You have scout. It's very cool. You know, then there's just a cool suite of different strats. You have an ability to actually have a vehicle move through walls. Obviously very important. You have ability to get back inside of a transport or a Land Raider. You have reroll wounds of 1, full rerolls if you are getting out of a Land Raider, and you have -1 damage on a transport. So just a cool, fun suite of stratagems you have access to if you're wanting to play those classic Black Templars Land Raiders. A big thank you to Azusa001 for the gifted Tabletop Titans membership.
Thank you. And Eunice, I agree. 3 Land Raiders is illegal, like, by ethos.
Yeah.
I have seen people bring 3 Land Raiders to a narrative event.
Right. 3. Yeah, exactly.
That felt illegal.
Well, I will say, when you're trying to fit in that many Land Raiders, you might not be able to take all the best Land Raiders. The Redeemer is significantly more expensive than the Crusader, which is in this book. So you might actually take a Crusader, which is kind of nice to have that excuse.
Susan, I brought
4. What a legend. Oh yeah, no, Eunice, I got you. Talking about your singing. That's the detachments, folks. Let's see, what do we want to talk about? Hellbricked. Hellbricked, again, is different, let's say. So he loses the crits on 5s. He had +1 strength, now it's also +1 attack. So still very spicy for your flat output. You don't necessarily need to try to spike it high. Which is nice. It's just consistent. Can be more of a independent beat stick without relying on like all these different buffs. Thank you, Robert Cripps, for the gifted Tabletop Titans membership.
Club.
Yes. Yeah. How many Land Raiders can we fit? I'll have to find out. So other than that, he's beat stick. He still pulses out mortal wounds, which we love to see. Grimaldus' ability very changed. Unfortunately, he no longer gives a 5-up Feel No Pain to the squad. The Feel No Pains in general have gone away from the army. There's no vow to give us 6-up Feel No Pain, obviously. So there is a bit more fragility in that sense, but they're much more focused about just like beating people up, which is cool. So now he gives you +1 advance and charge, meh, +1 toughness, sweet, or +1 AP in melee. So again, much more offensive abilities. getting stuck in, getting in there. He still maintains the giving full hit rerolls in combat, which is cool. So there's a bit of wording that will may need to be figured out with the. There's things that they changed in the index, and now they're kind of back to the way they were. We'll see if that stays. But that's generally Grimaldus. So much more offensive here. Pretty sweet. And then the Emperor's Champion is interesting. Again, another unit that has changed. It might at first glance seem worse. However, it's pretty interesting actually. So he is, I guess yeah. The big thing to talk about first of all, he's not unique anymore, which means you can actually take more than one, and you can also take enhancements on them, so you can really buff them up, which is pretty sweet. Before he had all the mega rerolls against characters and things like that, which is cool. But I think he's interesting because he kind of buffs the whole squad. So for example, you get +2 to charge against characters, character units for his whole squad, obviously. And then you can get.
T is saying you cannot take more than one.
Oh, I thought he was not unique anymore. Oh, you know what? Is that listed in? Where does it say that? I really thought he was not unique anymore.
Oh, you cannot include more than one Emperor's Champion.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Rude.
So he's not unique, but he is. We'll take one. He's not epic. That's the word I'm thinking of. Oh, he's not epic, but you can.
I agree.
So you
Me
can
and
give him
Willow were
enhancements.
sold, and now we're like, boo!
I know. What the heck? Okay, but you can give him upgrades you couldn't before, so that opens up a lot of things. Yeah. Thanks, folks. Again, Marshall's very, very spicy now. This is your captain equivalents. Now they give you the crits on 5s, which is very spicy meatball. This is probably a time to talk about the other unit changes, just kind of jumping ahead. So the Sword Brethren did lose the +1 damage ability, which is huge. But what they have is a bunch of keywords now. So if you choose to go this chainsword route, they have sustained hits. So you can get lots of sustains on 5s. The Mastercrafted Power Weapon, which you can now give to everyone, is lethal hits built in, which we know we like.
Lethal.
So lethals on 5s, pretty sweet. So again, they're different. It's just like kind of different. The numbers have moved around, and so I think that's pretty spicy. The new character is the Execrator, which is is a new chaplain. Literally, he has the chaplain keyword, so you're going to be able to synergize with all those other chaplain abilities, and he gives you advance and charge, which we do like. And I think you can add a secondary character. Yeah, like the Crusade Ancient says, you can be attached to a squad even if you have an Execrator. And the Castellan, who is their lieutenant version. No, he actually can't. So that's some restriction. Execrator. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, but you're not just locked into just Execrator, which I like. So you can do like Fight on Death and Execrator, which is sweet. Yep. Sounds like a Tyranid. Yeah. Oh yeah, and they hit on 2s. Thank you. So much more accurate. Boom, boom. Yeah, except for the Thunderhammer, which is on 3s. Makes sense. So just kind of moving stats around, honestly. I'm not going to go through every unit. They have a bespoke Terminator. I don't love them. They're expensive. I think the Starguard are bad. The Crusaders have Blood Surge +2, which is pretty sweet. And I think there's a lot of encouragement to take things like Crusaders in the book, as you can see from the detachments. And then they have the whole suite of tanks, which all have the multi-meltas attached, because that's what Templars do. They like fire and brimstone.
Is this normal for a book to just like, they just use the same image for a lot of these, and it's not the image? So
this is like models which they don't have assets for, I guess. Like they don't have, I feel like there's literally a Black Templars impulsor right there.
That feels weird.
Yeah. Oh wait, these are for the gladiators. Does the impulsor have a picture? He does have a picture.
Yeah, so
that's why. There's another weird thing, if you'll notice. For the first time, this edition, the detachment pictures are pictures of models and not new unique art. Sorry, y'all. Yeah. Let's see. Did my boy Grimaldus dirty? Yeah.
Robert, yeah.
I don't know. I'm torn on Grimaldus. I like the Feel the Pains, but also I think the new offense is genuinely interesting. So we'll have to test it out. He is in the pre-recorded list, and he's in the list today. But yeah. Muzmarium likes the... Oh no, Relentless likes the Terminators. I would love Terminators to be interesting. I think they are, 170 in the points. So, I don't know. I'm not totally sold.
I can't get over this like filler image.
Yeah, you just got filler images.
That's the same.
Kind of lazy. That's the way it
I
goes.
don't know why. I'm super bothered by that.
Right. That's Templars. Overall, I think there's a lot more aggression. There's obviously less feel no pains. Rules have moved around. I think obviously there's a lot of flavor in this. Really, really fun. So I'm excited to see it. I think, again, the gut reaction might be a little bit different than the reality here. This is one of those books that's going to have a lot of nuance that we don't immediately see. So that's that. Welcome, Michael, to Captainhood. Greatly appreciate it. Working on 11th edition, yeah. Is it Grey Knights time?
It's Grey Knights time.
Oh, the Grey Knights. This is where I could use some help chat as well, because I haven't really... I've read through this. I have studied it, but this is still an early look for me. So the Grey Knights, of course, there's a few questions going into this book. Are they going to maintain their very powerful uppy downy abilities? Will Drago be in the book? And also, how can they deal with high toughness? Because that's something they really struggle with and have struggled with since the beginning. So the question is, does this in the pages contain that? Let's take a look. So we'll go to the army abilities. And this is the same as before. So Gate of Infinity, at the end of your opponent's fight phase, you can select a number of units below, 3 of them in a 2K game, that are on the battlefield, not in engagement range. And you can then pick them up, put them into strategic reserve. So 2 for 1K, 3 for 2K, and 4 for 3K.
Okay.
Easy. So they still have that uppy downy. Pretty sweet.
Which is great.
Yeah, and they have new ways of playing around with it, which is cool. We've got, as I mentioned, a number of detachments. We have the Brotherhood Strike, which...
Linnea says you can keep them up now?
Could you not keep them up before? I'm pretty sure they just go into Deep Strike.
Before that, you had to redeploy.
I can see that. Let me see. Let's look it up, because I want to make sure I'm saying the right things. The Grey Knights. Index Grey Knights. Army rules. Teleport assault. Oh, you're right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it's been standardized with everyone else in the game that basically just put them into reserve. So cool. That's good. Gives you that flexibility. So the Brotherhood Strike, when you come down, you get to reroll hits and wounds of 1. Consistent. Is cute. As you can imagine, this is a lot of deep strike stuff, right? So you can do mortal wounds when you come down, no Overwatch when you come down, reroll charges when you come down, +1. While the bear is on the battlefield, you can uppy downy an extra unit. That'll be remain to see how often you use it. And then it's a pretty generic suite of strats that you have here. You have devastating wounds to your psychic weapons in the fight phase, only for infantry, and it's 2 CP. Very, very, very expensive. You have short deep strike. Pretty interesting here, though. They reference actions, right, which are introduced later in the game. But they also still reference a 3-inch deep strike, which has been out of the game for at least 6 months now. So I'm very curious about the development of this.
When was this book written?
Yeah, right, exactly. Is it just Mandrakes, though, the old version now? Yeah, makes sense. What else? Sustained hits and shooting, it's not bad at all. And then the kind of uppy downy shenanigans are different, let's say. So for example, Duty Unending is 1 CP in your opponent's move phase. When they fall back from you, you can put that unit into deep strike as long as they or into reserve as long as they have deep strike. So not your tanks, right? So it's not like if you move within 9, it's only if they fall back. So more control for your enemy, but fair enough. Mr. Deimos was dumb. More on that later. We have gain stealth, so -1 to hit, which is whatever. And then you have uppy downy 2 CP? Oh, that's why. Yeah, okay. So you can pick an infantry unit in combat to be uppy downy away. So you got to pay for that. Cute. I like it. Moving right along, we got the Hallowed Conclave. This is your Terminator detachment. This is about Terminators. It lets you fall back and shoot and charge with Terminators, which is awesome, so they don't get locked down. What's notable here? Overwatch on 5s. Pretty cute, right?
Nice.
You get a lot of shots here.
Okay, so you bring all the Land Raiders.
Yes. No, this is an enhancement, sorry. Enhancement on Terminator. So it's like all your tiny shots, lots of shots. And then strat-wise, we have access to +1 attacks on Terminators. Pretty sweet, especially on those new Paladins. You have Fight on Death, which is always good. It's the 1 CP version, so it happens on a 4-up. You can give, I like this one a lot. This one gives your Stormbolters, Pistol, and Twin linked. So just like start gunning people down in melee. We have like a grenade when you charge. We have a reactive move. Someone moving within 9. Yeah, just a D6 reactive move. And then we have a transhuman, basically. So strength is higher than toughness, -1 to wound, and shooting only. So it's Terminators. And Terminators got some new spice in this book, I will say. The Banisher's detachment is all about banishing. Just kidding. It's all about psychic weapons. So when you go to fight, you can take a leadership check.
Okay.
And I forgot to mention, this is part of Black Templars too.
Did they get to gamble?
No. Basically, so the Templars, the Castellan or Marshal, I think it's Marshal, start a combat, take a leadership check. If you pass, you get full hit rerolls. So it's like Oath sometimes. You have leadership 6.
So it's worse Oath.
It's worth, well, you can spread it out is the plus,
Okay.
right? You can have it on multiple units. Here, it's take a leadership check, and you can gain sustained or lethal on your psychic weapons. Great abilities. I don't think it would have been crazy for them to just like pick one. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me know. So that's a thing. And then for enhancements, you have, what is this? Start of your shooting phase. If they're not in engagement range, you can use it. Make a normal move of D6. Can't charge. Very weird. It's like a little shunt, basically. You're just like, chick, chick. +1 AP in shooting. Pretty interesting. Again, big bricks of things. And then shooting mortal wounds, whatever.
Inea says, Adrian, you pick one, but take a captain to get lethal already.
You pick one, but take a captain to get lethal already. Pick one. You pick one, but take a captain to get lethal already. I don't know what that means.
No worries.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so you get, looking for rerolls. Warding chant for 1 CP on a Psyker unit, which is everyone but vehicles. Gives you 5+ Feel No Pain against damage 1 weapons.
Okay.
Never seen this before. It's
That
very,
seems
very
very
interesting.
complicated to figure out. But
Yeah, exactly. Like you have lethal with captain and you just pick sustain. Yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. So that's the thing. You can give a unit anti-chaos 4+. A little casual racism in this book. Okay. Advance and charge on infantry. Very spicy. Again, lacking those Terminators. And then here, you have give a character model the infiltrator rule, or meaning no deep strike within 12. That infiltrator rule. So you can kind of push people out. And then here we have Miscedaimos. It's still around. Opponent's movement phase, if they end a move within 9 of a Psyker unit, you can make a normal move of a flat 6, or if they have deep strike, go into reserve. So Miscedaimos is alive and well, just moved around and being given a different name. So strong. So strong. Sanctic Spearhead, this is your vehicle detachment. So it's like kind of a modified index detachment. Your vehicles only auto advance 6 inches and gain assault. So great for being able to move and shoot. You don't get fly like you used to in the detachment, but you also now gain assault, so that's cute. And then Sigil of Exigences here, which is cool. And then after getting out of a transport, you can reroll wounds, which is always something that's really, really spicy to look at, especially when we combine them with some of the things in here. And then strat-wise, +1 to wound against monsters or vehicles. We love that. That's shooting or fighting, so that is, again, helping with the problem that we have. This detachment has now access to reroll wounds and +1 to wound, which is great. You can heal your vehicles. You can, of course, Kool-Aid Man through terrain, always important. And you have the ability to give fallback and shoot and charge. So again, if you're playing vehicles, pretty cute, right?
Well, it says, I'm afraid of this detachment in a post-Knights Nerf world.
Yes, exactly. So true. Pezler, welcome on in. They say, just got here, important question, where the blip are the Nemesis Demon Hammers? They're keeping infantry from being tank breakers, and I'm wanting my Boink Brigade back. Well, we didn't get tank hammers per se, but we got something else, and I'm pretty excited for it. One more detachment, and then we'll dive into units. I'm telling you, there's a lot of detachments. Also, you want to see the model pics instead of the art. Kind of lazy. All right. What is this one? Oh, this one's weird. This is like your utility sneaky one. So you can uppy downy 3 units, right? End of your opponent's fight phase, pick them up. This one is if you have like one of those units, like if you didn't pick all the units you could, in your turn, you can pick one up at the start of the movement phase.
Ooh.
And it's subtle. It's so subtle, they actually wrote a little designer's note that says how they want this to be used. Basically, you do this after you've seen your cards, your battle shocks, your whatever. You pick a unit up, and then they come down in that same reinforcement step. So it gives you a little bit of extra utility to kind of know exactly what's happening, which I'm intrigued by. I think it's very, very cool. Cool enhancements, you can give extra toughness once per battle, so you can become Death Guard a little bit. And then, what's the other one I wanted to mention? You have like another little shunt against. It's like almost the exact same ability, which is interesting. Stratagem wise, you get crits on 5s. We like that. Again, we'll check for lethal and sustains access in this book. -1 to hit against one of your walkers, which is it's cute. It's cute. -1 to hit always feels good, but I find so much of the time it's just not worth it. You know, it's just not. This one is interesting. It's a fight on death that gets worse as the game goes through. So they want you to be aggressive. Basically, the way it works is fight phase only on your infantry units, and each time the model dies, you roll a dice, and if the result is greater than the current battle round number, they get to fight on death.
Oh.
So it starts very, very easy, and then it becomes much, much harder, right? Pretty interesting. And yeah, Charles, good point. That's you.
Sorry.
This detachment ability lets you deep strike turn 1 even if you're going first.
Ooh.
Right? Pretty sweet. You can ignore negative modifiers for stuff, and then finally, Grey Knight Psyker, it was within 12.
Thanks, bot.
Oh, you can give someone deep strike. Yeah, and goes in reserve. That's cute. That's the detachments.
Okay.
Let's go over the units a little bit. First of all, as we mentioned, no Drago. And this is where I really could use some help because I feel like I'm not as familiar here. We have a lot of it's very much the same, to be honest. The Grandmasters just always reroll hits and wounds and damage against monsters and vehicles in combat. Before it was like you pick one and they do this thing, and it was like basically the same. But now you could have multiple be doing it, I suppose. So that's cute. They still have the CP reduction. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything like super different. Sublimator, Melta 4. What the heck? That's new, isn't it? I think so. Oh, then the maces and the flails. What are they like? Okay, so the mace, 5 attacks, hits on 2, strength 6, AP 3 for 3 damage.
Nice.
Yeah, anti-character 2+, precision, psychic. That's kind of fun, honestly. Would you take that over a sword, which is very random? Kind of. Same number of attacks. That's pretty sweet. The flail I like less. It's 10 attacks. It's only AP1, it's 2 damage. It's just more, it's less multi-purpose, I feel like.
Inea says Sublimator is new and both mace and flail, but hammer is always better.
The hammer, oh yeah, the hammer's still just better. Yeah, what the heck? So the hammer doesn't have all those fancy keywords, but it does, and it does hit worse, but it is strength 14 and is d6 +1. I could make an argument for the mace, but I still would never take the sword, basically, and I probably would never take the flail. But the mace is kind of cute.
Peddler, mace is face smashy. Flail is unit swooshy.
Yeah, you know what? There it is. That's the analysis we needed. Huh, okay. Mr. Crow, again, appears to be the same. He's giving his unit reroll hits against the character units, +1 attack on their Purifying Flame. Librarians are very much changed. So librarians were these stupid mortal wound bomb that Lil B would always roll a 1 and perils himself. But they were so strong, people were not taking them in units. They would just take them as little utility pieces.
Okay.
And the points kept going up and up and up and up. And it was just like so awkward because they're clearly not being played the way that they should be played. Now, I don't know if they'll be played, but they give the unit 4 plus feeling pain against psychic attacks, just like before. They give 18-inch lone op to the squad. And that's a new ability, which in some detachments could be good, where you have the flexibility to kind of keep them at range, you know? So that's cool. Flail makes no sense. Yeah, exactly. Flame got up in AP. The regular flamer. Generator, AP1. Oh, Purifying Flame is AP2. Yeah, AP2 ignore cover. It's pretty spicy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. There you go. This one's actually worse because they don't even get pictures of like good guys. They have pictures of like captured demons.
It's so weird.
I mean, I like the art, but it doesn't match.
But it's like also on this page too.
Yeah, literally Grandmaster. That's the Grandmaster, Mel. What do you think of that?
That doesn't make any sense.
Pretty sweet. All right, let's get to the Terminators, which we all want to talk about. So the Brotherhood Terminators rule is now, when you're in melee only, if you're attacking not monsters and not vehicles, +1 AP. So your Nemesis Force weapons, they are Strength 6, so they're not meant to go into high things anyways. They are going to go to AP 3, Damage 2. You still get the banners for +1 OC. You still get the Narthesium to res model. +1 AP is cute. It's cool. I still really like Paladins, though, which I think we'll talk about next. Paladins now, when they charge, and it's so cool. Terminators with 2 swords, +1 damage.
Ooh, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like that. And damage 3 is not easy to come by if your Space Marines are basically any type. That's why, you know, Thunder Cav are interesting, Wolfen and things like that. So they are Strength 6, so going to struggle into those higher things, but they are going to be AP2 damage 3. You don't have lethal. One of these squads used to gain lethal. So
which one of these are the baby carriers?
that was, so we did the Grand Nemesis dude. That was the new flail and the new mace.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll look at the normal ones in a second. So that's the thing. +1 damage, traditionally strong. Yeah. Are the baby carriers back? Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Robert says, which is worse, the placeholder images in these 2 books or the incomplete paint job in the last Orcs edition codex?
Ooh, that's true. At least they got models.
I think the placeholder images.
Honestly.
They could have taken a picture of anything.
I know. That's the thing. I'm like, you have it. You
Welcome
could at least
in,
Photoshop
narrator.
a model for us, G-Dubs.
Yeah.
Come on. No worries, narrator. You're good. Yeah, we talked about the Grand Nemesis Dread Knights, so you can scroll back for that. We haven't gotten to the normal ones yet. Strike Squads still give you Sticky, and they still have Scouts, so I like that. Purifiers have the reroll wound rolls of 1, and then full rerolls to wound if you're on an objective. And for your reference, they shoot and they fight, and you get both, which is kind of cute. The Venerable Dreadnoughts, which you now get in your Combat Patrol, which everyone's very mad about. The Box Dreads. It's a cute ability, but there's no way they will make this Dreadnought cheap enough to take this ability. It's like a Tracer Fire, so if you shoot something and you hit them, it's +1 to hit for the rest of your Grey Knight models until the end of the phase. So like, good ability on a very big body that's really expensive. Like, I can't remember the points off my head, but it's too much. Printed points are always wrong. Never forget that, folks. It's 140 in this book. I think it goes down a little bit, but not enough, frankly. Yeah. Do the Dreads have Deep Strike? Oh, they do have Deep Strike. Do you like that? Yeah, they could have pulled an image from the model box. Yeah.
Yeah, it just...
I don't get it. It's really weird. So, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. We have the Interceptors. They still have the movements and shoot. So a 6-inch shunt afterwards. The Purgations are pinning. If you shoot a non-monster, non-vehicle, -2 to the move, -2 to the charge. I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna be loud.
Mic check. All I was trying to say was, I don't know what they had before. Hello. Beep, 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 beep.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Right. All right.
Do you cuddle with little B like this? Is this how the setup is?
Yeah,
This is my first time in this.
It's very
this
intimate.
setup.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Honestly. Nemesis Dread Knights. They still have the ability to shoot and charge when they advance or fall back. That's big. So when you're taking that vehicle detachment, they will still be fantastic. There are 13 wounds, which might be 1 more. They're still only toughness 8, 2 up, 4 up. They move 8. So that's a thing, but still pretty spicy, honestly. Did they not get any of the new stuff? Is that literally only the character kit? Yeah, they don't have the new weapon loadouts. So you're still just taking the hammer every time because the sword is not great. Man, so cool. So cool.
We're just waiting for Eunaeus to correct us.
They did what? They stayed the same.
Oh, okay, it's rude that they stayed the same. Great, okay.
Yeah, what the heck? That's so weird. Huh.
Thanks so much, Luke. Welcome to Captain.
Welcome. Appreciate it.
Mono Member Club.
Right? Well, they are a mono member.
They are.
That's even better.
A mono member and a mono member club member.
Yeah, exactly. I understand it, at least having something different between the two is reasonable. Yeah, that is true, Willow. I mean, the problem has traditionally been that the regular Nemesis Dread Knights are kind of stronger than the characters, which is definitely backwards. So I think, yeah, that's a fair point about differentiation. The Land Raiders do not have Deep Strike. Okay? We found something without Deep Strike.
How funny would that be? Surprise, Land Raider!
There was at one point a flying Land Raider that had existed in this game. I don't think there's anything new here, from what I can tell. There's the Redeemer, no art.
They have no art of them.
It's just like...
And it's a demon.
Wait, isn't that... I think this is the Land Raider Redeemer right here. There's no art for it, and then there's a giant picture of art right here. No, you're good, Eunaeus. You're good.
No, we love it,
like
Eunaeus.
I said, definitely could use help today because the schedule's been changing around. Rhinos. While a friendly Grey Knights unit wholly within 6 of the unit, they have 6 that feel no pain against mortal wounds. Nope. In the era of making Rhinos good, this is not it. And then the Flyers appear to have the same rules as always. But at least they kept their Flyers, unlike you. You got your weapons page to tell you what all the weapons look like. And I want to show you something really, really interesting to me. And I love it, okay? This is a page showing you how to convert your special Grey Knights. I've not seen this in a long time.
Are they encouraging kit bash?
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
We saw a little bit in the Chaos Knights book. But like this is how to make, basically because like there's things like the Brotherhood Champion, the Brotherhood Librarian, the things like that. This is like how to make versions of them from the existing kits. So I love this. I mean, if you don't know, like I love kit bashing and building. It's my favorite part of the hobby. I think that we've lost a lot of the spirit at the core of the content that GW puts out in that sense, because I think it's so cool and it's a unique thing that you can do in this hobby. I think if GW was really worried about 3D printers, they should encourage people to kit bash more, because we literally have to buy their models for us to kit bash them. Anyways, I just love it, and I just love that they are actually showing how to do it. So some people would be like, "Oh man, this is worse than getting full scale guys," but like I don't care. I don't care. This is just so cool. So I want GW, do more of this. Please, 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 more of this. It's awesome and it's inspiring. So I think it's very cool. Yeah, exactly. Chaos Knights. It shows how to 3D print 6 despoiler Gatling cannons. Yeah. Exactly. I love it. Anyways, so that is the Grey Knights book. That is the Templars book. Very much a first impression. And so overall, I'm more excited about this book than I am about this book. I think they might still have some of the similar issues as far as like dealing with big things.
Like vibe-wise, this is more my vibe.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Go in, hit hard.
Yeah. And I want this to be my vibe, but I'm not sure yet. We'll be playing this one next week for sure. We'll be on the channel playing them. It's gonna be a great time. We'll get his opinions as well. The Templars are gonna play, of course, today. She is still not here, unfortunately. So we'll have to check in on that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you gonna check the chat?
Yeah.
But let's just chat about some things first. Let's see. Tony's 40K says, giving tips on kit bashing is the least they could do, though. Only faction to not get a new datasheet this edition. They're removing a few datasheets when GK already have so few. Yeah, I'm not, real talk, I'm not hopeful about the future of Grey Knights still. You know, I think, as I mentioned, Jesse was really hoping.
Stopped traffic.
Wow. I feel really bad for
JTD, thank you. First person comment on my hair. Like, one, I love that we didn't comment on anything. Like, we don't comment on stuff like that. But also, thank you.
Not making it easy on them, are you?
Nope. Nope.
Thanks, JTD. Appreciate it.
Oh my God. Shane's ETA is 1:30 and he left at 9:30.
I feel so bad for him.
Are you okay? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's horrible. I'm sorry, Shane. I expect full page art in the first printed Wildwood rulebook. Just all art. All art, like drawn art or pictures of models art. We have a lot of great art. That's the advantage of doing it the way we're doing it. Is it's a very art heavy game, so we've got plenty, and we have big ideas for the rulebook. I'll be honest. Someone had a great question. What orc models do you want to see updated next edition? I want Badrook back. Give us Badrook. That would be awesome. Give us all the named characters back, frankly. There's not a lot of orc models that really need updating, if I'm honest. I think we've had so many refreshes and new models added to them. What's a bad orc model? What's a bad orc model? I don't want new Storm Boys just because I feel like that's one of the kits. Well, I haven't bought them recently, but they've remained a cheaper price for a long, long time. Yeah. Oh yes, let me elaborate on the bright future, the not bright future of Grey Knights. I think if help is coming, it's not coming soon, right? This is telling us, obviously, we are not going to get the range refresh, which I don't think many of us were expecting, but I think it's certainly at least going to have to be, later next edition, if it ever comes. So I'm not like, oh, they're dead. I'm not as worried as I am for like, Demons and Deathwatch. But I don't feel like this is showing like a huge glowing amount of support for the Grey Knights. Could happen next edition for sure, but I'm not holding my breath for anything, honestly. So like, if you are waiting for new Grey Knight kits, don't do it. Just go do your own cool hobby kit bash project now. This is your permission to go out and do that. Now that we know for sure that it's not happening right now. So that's what I mean. We will see. It's hard to guess what they do with these smaller factions, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, I would say their future is kind of gray. Or characters on bike, yes, absolutely. Honestly, the main thing for orcs that I want right now is just a rules fix. They just have so many detachments that are cool flavor-wise, but are really hard to play. They really don't stand up against a lot of the other armies, and I feel like orcs always have like a clearly strongest one, if we're lucky, two detachments that often just gets nerfed to the ground, and the rest are just like really, really hard to play. Like right now, it's like if you're playing anything but Warhorde at a tournament, it's a hard time out there. And that sucks. Like I would love to have a reason to play all these different styles. So, having said that, today I am going to be playing the Big Hunt, the Great Hunt, which is going to be a lot of fun. And frankly, I can do that because I know we're not just going to get shot off the board. I know Shane and I are just going to fight. So, yeah. That's all Xenos armies in general. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm honestly saying for Eldar, right? I want them to have lots of options to choose from. So beautiful models. Let's give them rules that match them and make them playable. See ya, Azusa. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate that. Ancient on bike, giant banner catching the wind. Yeah, we think that's gonna happen. With the release of the chapter masters for the first founding chapters, is there a chance for them to get more love? I think yes. I think Drago could honestly appear at any moment as like a splash release. So I assume people are probably dooming about Drago being gone, but that is one I feel confident could appear at literally any moment. Having said that, we've been waiting for Vect for 5 years now. How you doing, Mel?
I'm good. Feel bad for Shane.
I know. I felt really bad, honestly. I'm like, ugh. Should we have just told him to not keep driving? But at this point,
yeah.
Ugh, poor guy. It's rough. Yeah. Drago is just playing chess with Vect. I was hoping for more ancient options with Templar specific rules for the new book. Honestly, the ancient detachment is the one I'm the most curious about. I think it would be really cool if we could make ancients good and make them a thing to take. I do genuinely like a lot of the stuff in that detachment, but
Kage no Akame sits here working on my Wraith army. Here's that comment. Awkward look away.
Well, here's the good news, Kage no Akame. Almost all of the Eldar detachments could use some help. So there's not a better option per se. But that's what I mean. It's such a cool army. I love Eldar. I love my Harlequins and stuff like that. But like, my goodness, it's tough out there to be playing them, honestly. So, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, you're very quiet. I'm surprised.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Shane says we are playing Black Templar. I'm so excited about them. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, so we're playing Templars today versus the Orcs. It's gonna be great.
When? Who knows?
Yeah, the time will be unknown, honestly, folks. Yeah.
We'll send out notifications when we have a good sense.
Yeah. Yeah. We are going to, we'll keep chatting for a few minutes, but then, yeah, we are going to sign off for a little bit, unfortunately, and get things set up. And then when we get Shane in here, we will go live. So there will be a game. It will happen. It might be a little bit delayed. Apologies for the traffic. Mostly apologies to Shane, because that sucks.
Come and join us when we are live to send Shane some serious love for turning a 40-minute drive into a 5-hour drive.
So true.
We could have gotten to LA.
Yeah, honestly.
We could have gone and played.
The Bay is horrible. I mean, that's why we moved where we did, because we were doing, it was like a 45-minute drive, which in California is not bad, but, you know, with any amount of traffic, it was immediately like an hour and a half. So going an hour and a half each way to the studio every day. And Shane is already quite a distance away, so yeah, it's annoying. What's up, the commander? Yes, knobs. You're right, Michael. The knob kit actually is very old. I actually like the kit, but it is pretty old, honestly. Yeah, so we could use that. 5 hours, I could get to Mexico in that time. Honestly, we could get over halfway there. No worries, Inez. Get some rest. It'll be great. Matthew Powell, what's up? Which 40k is best represented by Sigismund? I have him, but want to use him in 40k. I mean, he's got to be in Templars, right? Seems like for sure. You could, if you don't want to rebase him, he's just a great marshal, right? He's got the sword already. Marshals have the crits on 5. Be very, very appropriate. You could put him on a cinematic base. I don't remember. I have the cinematic base, but I don't know if it's big enough to be Helbrecht himself. But like, come on, it's Sigismund.
Willow and Shane are Echamp?
Echamp. The problem with Echamp is, no, I think Sigismund comes on a 40. No, he's a 32 actually. So then he could work for Echamp. Or, yeah, Echamp, which is Emperor's Champion.
Yes.
Not the other one. The Iron Hair Champ.
No, it's not the Votan one?
No,
okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. The greatest marshal. Michael asks, do you have any advice for playing orcs on it, tackling things with a 2+ save? I got run over yesterday. Great question, Michael. It is a tough thing. 2-up save, things with armor contempt, always really, really difficult for orcs. Yeah, so I have a couple things. Grenade, like mortal wounds. So grenades, tank shock, the Storm Boys in tactical can do it as well. But any amount of mortal wounds that you can get out there are super important. This also means sometimes I do want to bring things that specifically have AP. So this is why I think knobs with claws are the way to go. You never do choppas. I will run Beast Snagas today, and this detachment has an access to extra AP, but like the Squig Hogs are a lot of AP 1. So you want to make sure you don't have an excessive AP 1, which is a problem that this army genuinely has. So you at least want to have a few units that have access to that AP 2. Frankly, tank busters are pretty good for dealing with armor at range, because you can get the pulsar rocket for once per game, so that'll take you up to AP 3 there. In melee, gets tougher, but those are the things that I generally look for when I'm trying to solve that armor problem, because it is a problem for us orcs, honestly. Thank you, Kaldar, for the super chat, for the membership. Greatly appreciate it.
Mono member club.
Woo, 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 woo.
So yeah, in chat, is Drukari getting a codex?
Yeah, I'll get a book for sure. Yeah. What do we think's coming with it? We have, what, Votan, which they've shown the models for. Drukari, which no word on it yet. Someone had said the list. I think Willow posted the list earlier. Who else is missing a book?
I mean, Imperial Knights?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. There's no Imperial Knights book yet. That's true. So we need that one. Yeah, we really need that. Yep, Imperial Knights. There you go. Hey, beat them to it. There's one more, right? Or is that literally it? Yeah, I don't know. Enigma says, also the loss of anti-demon as a whole. I know GW seems to be going away from demon as a whole, but that is such a flavor loss. I remember my old Demon Hunters Codex that had rules to add flavor. Yeah, I'm honestly torn on that, because I think it is cool to add flavor. On the other hand, it feels bad for the person who has that thing, in this case demons, but it also feels bad for you if you're not fighting against them. So personally, I feel like that kind of stuff is best just kept into Crusade, where you have maximum flavor options. There is an anti-chaos strat in here, which is
weird.
At least that one is more broad. It's anti-super faction rather than anti-one book, you know? So like, I wouldn't have done it, but if you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it.
Thanks so much, Vought. So I've decided on my next narrative list, 3 Tech Marines, 2 Astraeus, 1 Outrider, 1 Infiltrator, and 1 Falchion. I'm not there for points.
Oh my god, that's crazy. This is the fun thing about narrative things. You're like, is that narrative or is that skew? That's wild. Yeah, how many points is that? You still have some play.
Right? What is the narrative? Is that 1,000 points?
That is... How much is an Astraeus these days, Vought? Let us know. Huh. Colonel Panic liked the Imperial Fist versus Iron Wars stratagems. Yeah, that's fair. Don't forget Space Marine Mark II. Hey, we've seen it before. We've seen it before. Oh yeah, demons. Yeah, we forgot about demons. Honestly, I'm not hopeful about demons getting a book this edition. Like, just to be real, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, 750. Okay.
750 per Astraeus.
That's 2K.
Yeah, that's 1,500 plus that.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Makes sense. Now, here's the faction that's going to get the Codex soon. How could we miss it? Space Marines 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yep. Look, we've seen those new beautiful characters. I'm super excited for them. I'm really excited for the Rave Guard character. It looks sick. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be awesome. Well, folks, we are going to go ahead and finish setting up in anticipation of Shane arriving, hopefully. Stay tuned. We'll post up and let you know when we're able to go live, and we'll give you a better estimate. But I'd say you have about half an hour or so. So hopefully this was helpful. I know it was a little bit ad hoc, but Mel, thank you for jumping on camera.
This was fun. I am excited. It will also help me with the game, especially since I've been debating about these two factions and starting a new 40K army.
Oh. How are you feeling on that?
I mean, I'm leaning Black Templars.
That'd be sick.
They align more with my playstyle. The thing that makes me a little nervous is that a lot of what seems like the very good detachments are very movie based.
Your weakness.
My weakness.
Now, I know you said you hated it before. Do you hate it less now that you're learning it, or is it still not your favorite?
No, I don't hate it. I'm just not as good at it, and so it freaks me out a little bit. And I'm like, be careful about what army you play first, because in my head, everything moves 12.
Yeah. You're kind of spoiled after that, right?
And I started with moves 12, advance and charge.
Yeah.
And then
everything is slow after that.
And then I'm like, what do you mean it moves 8?
Yeah,
What do you mean I can't advance and charge? So I'm still getting used to that.
Also, you gotta just, I don't know, you gotta play knights then.
Don't worry, Mel. Black Templars doesn't have good detachments. You will use Glass.
No.
But T, I'm a loyalist.
You heard it here first. Mel hates wolves. Oh my gosh. I thought you started with Harlequins. Well,
that was
attempting to play.
Failed start. That was when you need to be very careful about what unit you let your new partner play, because I think I never played them.
Yeah, I mean, it was first hobby project, and it was good for that. Probably overwhelming, but you know, you did it. But then the problem was at the time, remember, this was 7th edition. And so at the time, it was like, you know, and Mel wanted to play all these different kind of units. So I was like, well, you're kind of playing Inari, so here's this thing. It was just like way too much. So like, it was definitely a lesson of like, cool models to paint, but like not the army to start playing with. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, Robert says, leave the Imperium, Mel. Well, I do play Chaos Space Marines.
You do, but you don't have your own yet.
I don't have my own. And you're going to be so mad because those are going to be hot pink Chaos Space Marines.
Oh, this is why you need to play Emperor's Children.
Yeah, except for you would have cried in a corner if I had done it.
The thing is, I'm not like Shane. You can have more than one person play an army. It's okay.
How do you feel about the fact that we both have a Space Wolf army?
I love it. I think it's great. I think it's great. Takes pressure off me. I didn't have to get everything ready.
Needs more gambling. Yep. Well, I agree.
Honestly, yeah. Shane says, no, you can't. Sorry, Shane. Look, maybe we should just start this game. Mel should play Templars today. Anyways, folks, we're going to go ahead and get set up. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you all very soon on the tabletop. Bye.